Suck it, nerds. Four-wheel drive lets me load in the rain. Those are not zip ties. When they're there permanently, they become lightweight race fasteners.
What are we doing today, Dylan?
See if it runs with this new intake on it.
Just see if it runs.
We're gonna hope and pray it runs.
So we have the entire track to do whatever the heck we want.
Yeah. Just us here today. There was supposed to be a rental, but being Florida like it is, the rain comes and goes as it pleases. So rather than have folks drive a couple hours, they just said, if you want to go after it, if it rains, you're on your own.
We're doing some no prep testing on probably the return road, or do you want to use the actual track no prep?
We'll probably end up doing both, depending on how well it runs. I would like to make sure that it at least does what it's supposed to from this end, and then once we get that working and the tune-up's happy with the new intake and stuff, we'll actually try to make it do things on the other side. I want as pretty much as close to an apples-apples comparison as I can from the last time I was here at the track, from intake to intake. Now, it's obviously no prep up here, but there's still a substantial amount of rubber, and that's not usually an issue for me. So if we can get a quick apples to apples, and then we can start playing with it on the other side.
So he just swapped from a stock like truck intake, like a TBSS intake, to the Holley high rim, and the tuning has not been touched yet. So that's what we're going to work on first, is seeing what it needs and what to change, because it doesn't run that great right now. He said he would let me take it for a rip, which I'm pretty pumped about. Almost there. Ah! Will it not start in gear?
Yeah, it could.
That's what I do.
Without a neutral safety switch, it will.
Yeah, no one heard that. So this is like a whole big process here, and he really doesn't like it. So we're gonna pretend that he can't hear me as I show you guys how horrible this looks. Are you having fun yet?
All the fun.
Every time I told him he should just hole saw into the tonneau and JB weld a jar, like a cut jar of peanut butter at the underside, paint a lid black, and then you'd have like a perfect funnel receptacle. You could then you could put like Skippy on your
well,
on your rockers.
If I had some Jif on there, like when it didn't run, I'd have something to eat.
Yeah, that too. So he just put it back on like wastegate, might make like 9 pounds. We really don't know what it's gonna do, but it's gonna do something.
Covered in water.
Oh. Well, I mean, you want no prep? This is no prep.
That's more no prep than I bargained for. So we may have to do it on a return road. I didn't even think to come look, because that's way more water than I'm driving on.
It's fine.
It is on Radio Pros. Without any sun to dry it, I'll just do it on a return road.
All right, change of plans. I guess we're going to the return road. So we moved down to the shutdown. We're gonna run the track backwards. I think it's cooler down here anyway.
It's definitely more, suits the bill of what we're gonna do with it. So this is great for those.
Yeah, really. Like mine hooks up better on bumpy stuff like this than it does on a cold track.
Oh yeah?
Like, yeah, I haven't made the Hoosier spin on the street, but I'll spin on the track if it's cold.
Yeah, well, the track's one of those things where it's like it has more traction than you can handle until you lose it, and then it's gone.
Yeah.
There's no recovery. Whereas here, even if there's a slight amount of wheel speed, you can kind of whack it and keep going.
Yeah, it's just like running on sandpaper.
Yeah.
When your stuff's so heavy.
It picks it back up, yep.
So what's your plan here? Just gonna get in it and see what happens?
Yeah, make sure it's gonna run good on gate, make sure everything's happy, it'll make a pass under power.
Trying to make sure that front diff is locked in.
Our zip tie didn't hold.
What happened, Dale?
Zip tie didn't hold.
The zip tie didn't hold. Where's the rest of the bundle?
Right there.
Oh, okay, yeah. We'll pop the hood.
It was like, I was kind of rolling into it, just like watching everything, and then pedal.
Yeah, this throttle cable here giving us a little bit of problems, so we're just like, oh, we'll just zip tie it to that fitting, but it moved. So maybe we could throw another one on the fuel rail.
Maybe.
Because that's safe.
Yeah, because it's this piece that's really the issue.
Oh, it came out up here.
Oh, shoot.
That wasn't...
Oh, okay.
What the heck, Doug?
Doug,
I blame...
I buy your GM bracket, and it doesn't fit the GM cable.
I blame Doug Cook. No, it's not Doug's fault.
No.
It's Chad's fault.
Operator error, honestly.
It's okay. You got this. You don't need our help. Well, I think it's working. Give it some more. Yeah, I think we're all right. All right, so zip ties are in place. We're gonna try this again. It worked. It did not look fast, but it worked. But that was only like wastegate pressure, which is 9 pounds or maybe even less. We'll have to see. So it looked like it worked.
Yeah, it was lazy, but she went. So I think that was only like around 8 pounds. I was trying to look at the dash, but
8 pounds on a stock 5.3. So that was probably making what, like 500?
Maybe. Maybe that much. We got the teeth knocked out of it right there, so that way, like when I ride on pump gas, I try to set my wastegate spring up so that way pump gas is, our wastegate spring is pump gas friendly. So then it's like you can't hurt it. Like I could put a brick on the pedal and walk off and it would be fine. So
yeah.
Driving around is supposed to be fun. So like I want it to be bulletproof in that condition. I don't race under those conditions, so it doesn't need to be fast. So
Adrian's here
with the competition.
Back from the dead.
You want to line this up against old Uncle Rob back there?
Listen, you don't listen. Uncle Rob is
smoke,
Uncle Rob may want to have a food eating competition, but he does not want to race.
See that intercooler in the front? Know what that means?
Yeah, that I bet you that thing has no problem keeping up with IATs.
It's got Bluetooth cold side.
Bluetooth cold side. Nice.
Same as special.
Nice. Boost wise, it made a max of 8.3, just about like what I figured. Maybe we can turn her up a little bit more.
That's what I like to hear. So the Dragy did work.
Yeah, I had no idea. I never used it before. I was kind of excited to try it out. But it did pretty much just about what I expected. A little slower, but that's probably due to some tune changes and stuff. But a 179 60 foot, like just cruising off of a low two-step, low boost launch. So if I had pulled up to the track and you had asked me what I thought my 60 foot was going to be with what I had in the truck, I'd have told you 174. So considering an intake swap and some things that I never even ran before, that's pretty on par.
And it's a Dragy.
Yeah, so
like that's bottom line, it's an accurate number.
Yeah,
you can trust the Dragy.
Absolutely. So between like my estimation and Dragy and lots of experience running the truck, it's pretty much really close. So
what are you going to put in it now?
Basically I'm just going to go straight to double. So I'm going to just pin the 3-port Mac at whatever it makes. So like probably high teens, 17, 18. We'll see.
Do it.
Yeah, whatever it makes, it makes.
If it dies, it dies.
So you laugh, but I literally said that about 5 times in my last race because I drew a really, really fast guy at the snow prep and I had no clue what I was going to do to beat him other than go as fast as I could. So like I swapped some things around and I basically turned my 3-port Mac valve into a check valve. So the wastegate has a top and a bottom port. Well, I pulled the bottom port, so there was nothing helping the gate open. And then I plumbed the top port directly to the dome. So all the boost was going to the dome. Nothing was helping it open. And it made like 30 pounds on the trans brake. So like I moved about that far. My map sensor was pinned. It was maxed out. It's pretty much 100% through all the places. That's a throttle position and an RPM graph, and that's duty cycle to the Mac valve. So it's 100% basically everywhere.
100%.
100.
Keep it 100.
100.
It's about to start raining. We gotta get this ripping.
We're gonna load up in the rain.
We're gonna like the rest of the rain.
We got to send it tune in the rain.
All right, it's good. It's fine.
Ah! Gotta get this idling figured out.
Well, now he's just putting on a show.
Oh,
You know, he just left that on purpose just because to make a good video, and I would have done the same thing.
All right, here we go. I forgot to put it in 4-wheel drive. I'm an idiot. And now it's raining. That was a waste. Dang it, I'm stupid. I forgot 4-wheel drive.
Oh, that was 2-wheel.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I know, that made it so much cooler. I left and I made it about that far and I was like, I'll do a 60-foot hit real quick.
All right.
To see what it does.
So we forgot 4-wheel the ground, and he's just gonna do it anyway. Is the Dragy on?
Yeah, it was on.
Let's see what you can 60 foot in the rain.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, I got it reset.
All right, 60 foot in the rain, Florida man style. Here we go.
Everything's okay.
That was pretty good.
Got a little bit of.
As those front tire was all like.
Let's see if I caught that.
That's a dang good launch for being in the rain. Catch the doing the old cabbage patch. Oh yeah, it's like we're turning left, we're turning right.
Just doing a turkey gobble.
What was that? that's gonna be the intro. Well, obviously now it's raining and we're kind of screwed. Now it's really raining.
Hey, suck it, nerds. 4-wheel drive, let's be loaded in the rain.
So rain aside, how did that feel?
So, I mean, it spun pretty bad when I actually remembered to put it in 4-wheel drive. So that was the first time I ever forgot to do that, by the way, like ever since having and racing this truck. That was the first time. But that felt pretty good. I'm not disappointed in that at all. It spun pretty bad and the front end had some action, but it's started to rain on a no prep with no rubber, no burnout, no nothing, just dead asphalt out there, cold tires. We hot lapped the truck, and the fact that it moved at all and did some substantial things is good, because that lets me know that as soon as I get on a track that has any of those things, like it has any rubber down, any sort of glue, anything else at all, I know that that will work. That's a very good starting point to go from. Now, if the track's worse or better, I can make the changes necessary, but that lets me know that what I left off of, what I used right off the trans brake, is going to be a good starting point whenever we go to actually race somewhere. When I let go of the button, it was at 5,000 RPM and right at 13 pounds. It made it up to a peak of 17.9. So yeah, just about what I expected. I didn't know if it would end up right around 16 or if it'd make its way closer to 17 or 18, but yeah, it made it all the way up to 17.9 was the peak. That's right when I lifted about halfway through second gear.
Did you have the Dragy on for that?
Yes, I did.
Let's see what your 60 foot was in the rain.
So it was spinning, like I said, it was spinning pretty bad. So that was a 163 spinning in the rain on a no prep. Like
163 60 foot. What was your, does it say 0 to 60 on there?
Yes. 0 to 60 was 254.
2.5, 0 to 60.
I don't know what that metric is. I don't know if that's fast or slow, but that's what it went.
That's fast. I mean, I think like a stock new GTR is like 2.3 or 2.2 or something. Not in the rain.
Yeah. I wonder, I'd have to check like one of my track times to see if there's some kind of math I can do that, or run the Dragy on a track time, because it's got to be way better.
There is on like the Wallace Racing thing.
Oh, they have a calculator for it?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I've been like on a regular track side, a bunch of 140s now, and I don't see any reason why I can't go 130s. Like, absolutely, like the reason I was slowed down at a 140 is because I ran out of horsepower. Like, I feel like I had enough traction in the first 10 feet to go 30s, maybe even on an extreme circumstance, a high 20. I'm just convinced that I can, but it's between the like 10 foot and the 60 foot mark that I'm just out of horsepower. Like, I don't have enough to continue accelerating.
Well, that didn't exactly go as planned, but that's Florida.
Florida has a really good governor, but really bad weather.
Spotty. You know, it's not raining anymore.
It's 6 miles away.
Yeah, it's still raining over there probably.
Yeah, so yeah, I live 6 miles from the track, and it is not raining here, and doesn't even look like it really has.
No, it's still dry. You're right, it does not look like it's rained here.
Want to get spicy in the road with it, maybe?
I'm all about it.
We'll see if we can wake Harold up one more time.
Yeah. Harold.
We're coming knocking.
We're coming, Harold. But wait, there's more. What?
I thought it was on fire, but it's just steam.
Oh, it's just steam?
Yeah.
Oh, we're good.
Good is like a relative term. Like, it may not be good, but it's not on fire, so.
I know you can't smell that, but you can pretend you do. All right, let me just yell at myself then.
All right, you ready?
Yes, sir. As you can see, I don't know if the GoPro picks it up, but when I do that, we are basically pinballing off of both sides of the road. This thing is so tight. No, it's not.
No,
it's just doing a little bit of wow.
So this thing has a very bad rag joint. These trucks are notorious for that. The Baptist Church! Oh, I wouldn't
Two-wheel? Have you ever ridden in your own truck before?
Not really. It sounds way different from the seat versus that one.
Because the exhaust is like...
I don't know, it's just a totally different sound, but it sounds freaking spicy up there, like not what I'm used to hearing.
I mean, it sounds spicy over here, but I'm not used to it over there either.
Yeah, like, I don't know if it's just the intake again, because like now I'm hearing it without my helmet. Also, it's a difference, but like...
I feel like it sounds a little bit more radical now than I remember riding around in it.
Yeah. Just like the total tone, like I don't know if it's the intake, the passenger seat, or what, but it's totally different.
Either that was a different gear or it's being weird now. So it was like not really doing anything.
Yeah.
So the GoPro on the windshield was the 6, Adrian's GoPro 6 on the suction cup, and I'm filming with my 8 now. I had the 8 sitting in here, and when I got out I couldn't find it because the insane G-forces flew it out of the dash. Well, it did. It flew out of the dash.
Yeah, so you don't put anything that you want to keep on the dash. If you want to keep it, you just put it against the back seat, or like the back of the cab, because that's where it's going to be anyway.
It's okay, Dad, I got it.
Got a head prop.
Yep, all right.
Well,
It's still there. That's
there's no holes in places, so we did all right.
It's still there. Is there oil on the ground?
I don't think so.
Nothing? I didn't break it?
I don't think we broke it. So when Montana drove it, he did break it. No, he didn't break it. We thought he did. Like, it made a loud pop, and like all of a sudden the steering was all freed up, and we were like, that's weird. But I never found anything wrong with it, so.
Did the zip ties hold up?
Yeah.
They did.
Those, listen, we talked about this. Those are not zip ties. When they're there permanently, they become lightweight race fasteners.
And that's the intro right there.
Yeah, look. Holy That's why I didn't drive right.
Oh, there we go.
Well, Jesus.
Come on,
I'm glad he
guys.
noticed. I'd have put it on the
Come on,
trailer
guys, get
and went
going.
somewhere else racing. Like, oh, this thing doesn't make any power.
So I told you, I was like, I don't know if it's in the wrong gear or if it's just slow. Like I thought I was in second gear because.
Yeah, I was looking at the shifter. I'm like, no, he's in the right spot. I don't know. But
All right, well, I was just about to film the outro here, so we'll just rewind real quick. All right, this thing, this thing was a lot of fun to drive, even though.
and then it wasn't.
Yeah, I kind of broke it a little bit. I mean, it's nice to say that I broke it and it was just that.
Yeah.
It's just, you know, I broke it, but I didn't really break it.
You blew it.
I blew it.
But not up. But not up. We blew it, but not up.
No,
so there's a difference.
just blew it. Just blew it off. But yeah, this thing's freaking cool. You got to go subscribe to Dylan's channel right here, Diggin Z71. It's the same on Instagram and YouTube.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's pretty.
He's been out there grinding, punching through the YouTube algorithm because, you know, when you got a tiny channel, it just does not want to help you get views for the longest time as I get mobbed by a moth. About the same place I was at when I was back here in June, did the first video about this truck, which explains the whole backstory. This was his grandpa's truck. His grandpa bought it new, drove it forever. Dylan beat the crap out of it as a mud truck, and somehow it evolved into this. But if you want to hear all that story, you can go way back on my channel feed. and see that one. But you got to go to his channel and check that out, because this man is full of a lot of information. One of few people that I go to for perspective on things like this.
Yeah.
Because there's just not a whole lot of us doing this stuff.
Yeah. So I mean, so I've pretty much, with this entire story, this truck is summed up with like do more with less. It's always been like over tractioned and underpowered and overweight compared to everything that I'm racing, so I have to make best at that, and that's been the strategy all along. And finally I'm making some horse torques to do more llama thrusting.
I remember you were just having all kinds of problems with this thing. You were messing up motors just as often as I was messing up transmissions, and then suddenly it just seemed like earlier this year everything just clicked.
Yeah,
and you just started,
puzzle pieces started connecting where they needed to be.
you just started kicking ass out of nowhere.
Yeah, well, I got, you know, I want to call it lucky, but like we won a couple of weekends in a row, and until last weekend I had won like my previous 14 pairs. I had 14 heads-up pairs of racing I had won until last weekend.
There you go check them out. Hit that subscribe button here too. If you're watching this and you watched this far and you're not subscribed to me, I don't know what you're doing.
You're doing it wrong.
You're doing it wrong. Make sure you subscribe to me, leave a comment if there's anything you want to know about this truck. I will make sure that he goes into my comments and answers your questions.
True.
So you're very good about that on all the forums and stuff. So check it out, make a comment, ask questions, good questions, bad questions. He'll tell you his favorite color, you know, what his first dog's name was, any of that stuff. Doesn't have to be about the truck. He'll talk to you. So we'll see you.